foster care system involved in this case.
If you look at the picture that's on your screen right now, I'm sure it's total coincidence, ladies and gentlemen, that the statue on the left not only looks identical to the Statue of Liberty, but has the exact same rays coming off what is arraying her head as the sun rays, representing the 7 continents of the world. It is the sun god that presides over the world. Oh, I'm not done yet. This is Attis. Now, Attis is somebody you need to understand who he is, because Attis was the priest or the main servant of Cybele, or Ishtar, or the wife of Baal, the sun god. And he, in their craziness, let's just leave it that wink, wink, of what went happen in those times, is he castrated himself, then would dress up, cross-dress as a woman, and wear this hat. This is a close-up of the castrated Attis on the left and Lady Liberty on the right. What I want to suggest to you when I got to this part is I thought to myself, oh my goodness, is Lady Liberty really a lady? Or is it Larry Liberty? I don't know. But I'm going to let you decide as we do a little bit close up here, and you tell me if that looks like a feminine face. Ignore the long hair. Remember, the priests of Ishtar wore long hair, they castrated themselves, wore robes like women, and wore these headdresses. Now, one more better for you. Here is her face before it is assembled, and before you have the ability to look at the hair and be influenced. Shows us that not only has Attis, or the priest of Ishtar, and sun god worship showing up all over Egypt, all over Rome, all over Greece, and everywhere else in the Eastern Mediterranean, but is on our soils and has infiltrated America today and has literally become the epitome and the torch of freedom. It's bondage. Let's go one further. The 7 rays of the sun. Notice the nimbus, the halo of rays of the sun. This is an ancient pagan sun god. It's everywhere. This is not something they just made up. Helios, look at this. Holding a torch. He's the Colossus of Rhodes, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Where did he get the idea of the torch? Ladies and gentlemen, he took a trip here. He took a trip to Egypt. He studied these things. This is what he saw. An over 100-foot Colossus of Helios with this headpiece on of the 7 rays of the sun. Don't tell me that that didn't influence him. The exact attributes of Helios, or the Colossus, and the sun god, and all of those things show up in the Statue of Liberty.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. All right. All right. Let's get the most high hand. Oh, let me fix this camera. All right. All right. Welcome, y'all. Tuesday night Brotherhood class. We got some brothers about to show up in a minute. The water for y'all tuning in. I mean, get them up high hand. So, I mean, let's just jump right into the topic. You know what I mean? So, lucky for the tardiness. So America's so-called love for us. You know what I mean? As you can see through the previous videos that we just played just now, you know what I mean? America has its own hidden wickedness to it, its form of history that it has for abusing our people, you know what I mean, enslaving our people, and unaliving our people. You know what I mean? Um, a lot of people want to forget, a lot of people want to forgive, but we're gonna get into scripture, you know what I'm saying, and see how the Lord forgets or forgives, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, a lot of people think that we're being extremists and we're being so-called racist because how we react to the wrongs that have been done to our people. You know what I mean? How do we react to the negativity that's happened to us, the wrongs that have happened to us under the foot of our oppressors, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, you know what I mean? We're gonna get right into these scriptures and see how the Lord feels about it. You know what I mean? Because as we can see, America has absolutely no love for our people. You know what I mean? We see in today's age, we've seen it um since our oppressors stepped foot on this land. That's all we've seen. You know what I mean? We've seen oppression written throughout the whole scriptures of the book. You know what I mean? Us under the foot of our oppressors, when seeing what they've done to us and how they treated us for thousands of years. You know what I mean? So this is what we're gonna get into. Okay. We're gonna go to starting off the old famous Habakkuk 2 and 12. Let me get there real quick. So the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 12 says, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity." So as we see the history of what America is and what America's been, it's only their pride is built off of the backs of our people. Their fortune, their their prosperous lifestyles have been built off of the backs of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? They've been unaliving us since they've been here. They've been using our free labor since they've been here. They've been destroying us for generations. And this is not something that's new. This is something that is biblical, you know what I mean, so to speak. This is a biblical situation. This is something that's been happening to us for thousands and thousands of years, all written throughout the scriptures. This is how you know blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the children of Israel. You know what I mean? Just because of how we are being treated in this land. When you get what's going on as far as politics and things of that nature, none of it consists of our well-being. It's always just against us. It's always negativity that's responding in a sense of keeping us underneath on the bottom. You know what I mean? Nothing has been fortunate for us. And not only that, just like it says in Habakkuk, this town it's been built off of blood. You know what I mean? The Native Americans have been damn near, I mean, it's damn near been a genocide. They almost took the Native Americans off the face of the planet by killing them so much. You know what I mean? The sharks had to follow the slave ships because so many people were jumping off. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a place that's been built off of our suffering, off of our unaliving. You know what I mean? It's a town. This is a town built on blood. You know what I mean? And that's the blood of the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? This place has only destroyed us. It's only kept us under their feet. So we got a couple of videos. You know what I mean? I want to share. Got a brother coming in right now. So I'm going to share a couple of videos. I'm going to show a couple of examples of the things that America has done to us. So I'll just go back to that video real quick that I just showed in the beginning, and then we'll go into the videos that's based on the topic. Hey, Shalom Lord Christ, I warrior, trooper I warrior. Shalom Lord Christ, sister. Ibana Bath. It's like if I butcher that. Shemaiah Bath. Shalom Lord Christ, sis. Who else we got? Daughter of a King. Shalom Lord Christ. Who else? Olivia, Shalom Lord Christ, and Officer Kodash, Shalom Lord Christ, brother. All right, so let's go. Let's see what we got. So let me get to this video real quick.
If you look at the picture that's on your suit.
Put myself on mute. Okay, so pretty much what you witness within that video is a town being built off blood. You know what I'm saying? You can not fathom the hatred that our oppressors feel for us. You know what I mean? A lot of people think that hatred is gone. A lot of people think that hatred has deteriorated. It has not. Those people have a perpetual hatred for us. You know what I mean? They've just by the graphic photos alone, you know what I'm saying? By just analyzing exactly what was happening in those days and what's happening today. You know what I mean? You see children, babies in fields picking cotton. You know what I'm saying? You see babies with ropes around their necks about to be hung. You see old, elderly people getting ready to be brutally abused and unalived in one photo with a man dressed up like Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? You see carnival games of abusing black people, children, black children. You know what I'm saying? You see babies being used as alligator bait. All these things you see in these photos is because of the hatred and the disgust our oppressors have for us. What have they done for us to show retribution for what has happened in those photos just alone? Because you know, there's more stuff that I can't even post online, you know what I mean, that we got records of what they've done to us. And I can't even post those things online. It doesn't just stop at babies being treated like adults and unalived and hung on a tree. Like, it doesn't just stop there. There's more and more things that they've done to us, but we tend to keep on clinging to these nations. We continue to keep on wanting to serve their gods. We continue to keep serving their holidays. Isn't 4th of July coming up? People getting prepared for that, to go pop fireworks for the unaliving of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? Their independence comes from our suffering. But we're going to be the ones who help them celebrate and help them idolize that day. But we're the ones who suffered and were unalive for it. It makes absolutely no sense what our people are doing these days. That's how you know there cannot be anyone else that are the lost sheep, because no one is as lost as us. How could we go through such torment and such abuse and still cling on to the ones and be so forgiving to the ones who done that to us? You know what I'm saying? It just makes absolutely no sense. But did you want me to add you on, Ottawa? I'm gonna add you on, Con. Okay. All right, my brother. Let's get it up off Karatazar.
Hey, Salam Lord Christ. Salami how about Shimei Al Shah Salami how Shimei Al Shah Slaki. Salami how Shemala Theb Shimei Al Shah to the sisters.
Yes, sir. All right, so
I'm good to go.
Con, yeah, I can hear you. So we just went through that video, seeing some of the images of what America's done to our people, what America's done to our children. It was even, you know what I mean, books that they made insulting us. You know what I mean? One of them was at the end. It was called 10 little niggers. It's like
a lot of the nursery rhymes and things of that nature be coming from, like, what's that, Eeny Meeny Miny Mo?
Con.
That Eeny Meeny Miny Mo was originally a song talking about us. You know what I'm saying? Eeny Meeny Miny Mo, catch a nigger by the toe. If he holler, let him go. That's how that song was. That that was common in, in our community, as far as us, using it as something to go play with. We say that song before we about to go play hide and seek or tag to see who's it. But they was actually using that song to talk, downgrade us, to degrade us. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I'm trying to pull the class up real quick. Yeah, I'm good to slack you. Can you hear me, Nazar?
Con, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
I wanted to also, I had another video I want to pull up. I'm gonna wait for you. You pulling up the class right now?
I'm trying to. 1 second. I'm not on my.
While you doing that, I'm gonna read Ezekiel.
Okay, cool. Now I can fix my shit. Okay, cool. Now I can fix my shit.
All right, I'm gonna read the book of Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou have not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. That is just showing the redemption that the Lord has coming for us, because we don't want to redeem ourselves. You know what I mean? The Lord has to redeem us. The Lord is going to have to give payback to the ones who, you know what I mean, seized us and brutalized us and unalived us. You know what I mean? The Lord's going to have to get that payback. He says, as long as I live. That means that the Lord's not going to forget. Each day to the Lord is like 1,000 years. You know what I mean? So the Lord's not going to forget what happened to us and what our oppressors have done to us, what this nation has done to us. You know what I'm saying? What you talk about on?
Hey, I wanted to say too. Could you read that precept one more time? I need to hear it one more time. I got something I want to add to that.
Khan. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword
Mm,
in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
right.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Look, like right there. Look. So it's like these people pursued us with the sword. These people, this nation who blacks, Hispanics want to love so bad. They want to integrate with so bad. They want to, just accept so bad and invite them to the barbecue and bring them into your fold. This nation has pursued you with the sword. You know what I'm saying? They had no regard for your old and young. Do you got that precept too? They had no regard for the old and the young.
Slocky.
Like they had no regard for your old and young. This nation that you want to, be united with, that you want to, elect presidential candidates over yourself. Who you want to elect congressmen, who you want to forgive for the murderings of your brothers and sisters, who you want to be, in charge of you, is a nation that has no regard for you, is a nation that oppressed you, is a nation that went above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? And in the eyes of the Lord looks at them as what they did to you. Like we got sentenced to a time period of slavery. We got sentenced to a time period to serve our enemies because why? We disobeyed the Lord, right? But they went above and beyond that. You see what I'm saying? That's why the Lord's preparing for them what the Lord's preparing for them, because they chose to go above and beyond and took this as an opportunity to never let you rise again. You see what I'm saying? To never let you rise again. And this is the nation that you choose to love. This is the nation that you want to celebrate their Independence Day. You see what I'm saying? This there got to be some type of psychological thing wrong with you if you don't see this. You know what I'm saying? If you don't understand this, you need to gather yourself in or what's it called when you restructure your mind to do the right things and to love the right things, because they have put so much propaganda, so much devices, so much craftiness out there to deceive you, to take away from what the truth is, to misdirect you, and to give you a bunch of fallacies, bunch of falseness. You know what I'm saying? That makes you, gullible to all those things. But you need to restructure your mind to find the truth and to know the truth and to serve the truth. And you should be honored and lucky, not lucky, Slock. You should be honored and happy that you found the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it should be something that you hold dear to yourself. So if you're watching a class, share the class. You know what I'm saying? Get it out there to somebody that is deceived, that is stuck in the world. You know what I'm saying? That may need this, and watch these classes, because it's a constant battle that we face inside America that these oppressors try to put on us. You know what I'm saying? And this nation that we are involved with due to oppression doesn't want to see nothing but your destruction, and it's been like that for thousands and thousands of years. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Shoot, I wanted to add too. I don't want just the way that everything is structured right now. Like our oppressor, they're not just destroying us, but they're making fun of it. You know what I mean? Like it's like a running joke for them. Like they see it as we'll never be on top. The way that they have us, there'll never be any chance of us getting our way back to the top or getting our way to the top. So I wanted to share a video also about a time period where all of our people ran to go vote for a man who they felt like that was black. You know what I'm saying? They felt like he was one of us. They felt like he was going to be the savior of blacks and Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? That wicked old man named Obama. You know what I'm saying? went for 2 terms straight, just in full trust of all our people, not knowing that this man was a heathen, freaking from Ham, just put into position to act and talk like us and walk like us and treat us the worst. Because we got to understand, when he was pretty much in office, we were at our worst stages. You know what I mean? So, well, I can't say that we were at our worst stages, but it was more public that they didn't give a damn about us. That's all I can say. I can't say that we were at our worst because we've always been underneath on the bottom.
Yeah, who was the president before Obama? Was it Bush?
Yeah, it was Bush.
Oh yeah, for sure. We was messed up for sure.
All right. Yeah. So just take a look at the disappointment in our people's faces when they realize that this is not the man that we thought we voted for. This is not the person who we thought was going to rescue us from all of the oppression that we're dealing with. And he was going to give us a voice for all blacks, knowing that he was just a voice for the confusion community, the LGBTQ. You know what I'm saying? But let's watch this. Look at the disappointment in our people's faces.
Flint's recovery is everybody's responsibility. And I'm going to make sure that responsibility is met. We invest. Can I get some water? Come on up here. I want a glass of water.
Get a bottle. Bottle water.
I want a glass of water. Thank you. I really did need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
What? He wet his lips. He did not drink it. He didn't sip it. He wet his lips.
There was an audible gasp in the audience. People were just like absolutely dejected. Why would you do that?
I am sure that somewhere when I was 2 years old, I was taking a chip of paint, tasting it, and I got some lead.
Yeah, that's like talking about like, well, I didn't wear a seatbelt and I'm fine. It's like, but there were tons of people that died.
Backstage, the president sitting at the table with the criminal governor decided to perform his stunt all over again.
Generally I have not been doing stunts here, but
That's not what I expected. That's what Snyder did.
It felt like he minimized like what people were actually going through and struggling with. If you were actually lead poisoned, you would not be president. You would be janitor Barack Obama.
We were holding on to hope that he would declare a disaster area. A disaster would give us FEMA. It would give us pipe replacement, get engineers in here. Then we could get Medicare for all the residents of Flint. As soon as he took a drink of the water and said everything's fine, that was that.
And look at it, years later, it's still poison.
When he came here, it was my president, but when he left, he was not my president.
I would again go back to the president's visit last week. He reinforced the message that filtered water has been determined to be safe for people to drink.
This again was our hero, and we thought he was going to come here and help us.
So you see the pride in that man's face, like, you know what I mean? Like he was being very, very arrogant. Because you know, at that time period, Flint had a water problem. You know what I mean? And there was large amounts of lead in the water, and people were being poisoned, dying, getting sick, like couldn't use your water in your house. So you couldn't have water to drink. You know what I'm saying? when there was a water crisis out there in Flint, and he goes out there and decides, instead of helping the people out, being the president, I'm going to go out here and make a joke. And you can just see the disbelief in the people's faces, like, whoa, this joke is not for us either. This joke is for them.
Yeah.
This joke is for the higher ups. They're laughing at us. You know what I'm saying? And then not only does he do it once, he does it twice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just disgusting. But that's who our people went and ran to the voting booths to go vote for. Called off from our slaves. You know what I mean? Took the day off. Went to go drop the kids off. Reinsured that we made our way and made sure that we made phone calls to make sure that we put a so-called black president in the White House. In the White House. You know what I'm saying? The ignorance of our people, thinking that because someone had the physical features and could possibly be one of us was going to help us in our struggle.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just showed how desperate we were. And not only did that, not only did he do terrible his first term, we went out and went to go give him a second chance. You know what I mean? And it just got worse. But that just shows you him and any other president, they reflect the love that America has for us, which is none. You know what I mean? They shameless, they laugh at us, humiliate us. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. But all in all, we are the ones who get sensitive when we're talking about this same demon that's been attacking us for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They get sensitive and they feel, oh, who are we to sit there and say that, you know what I mean, all oppressors are the devil that the Bible speaks of? Who are we? But who are you to sit there and still have faith in this place when it's showing you everything but faith, showing you everything but care or nurturing or any type of hope? There is no hope in this place.
Right.
You can continue to keep on trying to put your hope in politics, but your people are going to continue to keep suffering. It's like, you have something, another one?
No, you 12.
So I'm going to read, let's see. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Is that 2 and 3? Okay. And it says, the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So this man of perdition needs to be revealed. That man of sin needs to be revealed. But our people have to open our eyes first in order to have the sight to be able to reveal something.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't just continue to keep getting abused and accepting it. You can't continue to keep on getting humiliated and accepting it. You have to actually want to demand something different from yourself in order for this man of sin to be revealed. Because we've been on these corners telling brother to brother to brother who this man of perdition is. So like, I'm gonna put my phone on silent. But we've been exposing who this man is. It's just people just don't want to listen. You know what I mean? This man has already been revealed. You just don't want to listen. We got to open our people's eyes, and our people have to want to. They have to strive and have to have a urging for the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that's going to pull that out of our people is suffering. That's the only time when we want better for ourselves, is when that suffering hits your front door. That's the only time you want better for yourself. You can see your people in the worst conditions, and not wanting anything different until it hits your front door. That's when you want something different. But that day's gonna come. But at that time period, it's gonna be too late. Your demands aren't gonna mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Your requests are not gonna mean anything. You see, every time that we start to get riled up and we want to do something, they'll scratch our backs just a little bit. Just pet them on the head. They'll calm down. You know what I'm saying? They'll just give us a little something. But that's because there is no end all be all goal for us. If we had an end all be all goal, we wouldn't just be satisfied by the crumbs that they throw at us. We would want what we're demanding, but we don't push for that. It's because we're just satisfied with them just acknowledging us, just letting us know that we exist and we're there. That's the only thing we're satisfied with. We have absolutely no demand for anything but just acceptance. But why would you want to be accepted by someone who hates you?
Right. If I could, that's they also, like, a lot of what our people think, they think that money is going to change. Money's going to change things. You know what I'm saying? Money's going to change. If we were financially better as a community, as people, money's going to, like, you know, and not to say money is a tool to be utilized. It's in the Bible as well. But the only way you're going to get out of this oppression, and to piggyback off what you're saying about how we want acceptance from, and we want the crumbs from the people that hate us, the only way we're going to get out of this hell is coming back and turning towards the Lord. That's the only way. You see what I'm saying? Because he's the one that put us in this situation. Oppressor, you got to turn to the Lord first. You know what I'm saying? You got to fix your situation and fix your problem, your issue with God. You know what I'm saying? You got a big issue with the Lord right now. You loving it, you loving your enemies. You're doing everything your enemies want you to do. They're throwing you crumbs off the table, like, and it's not even fresh crumbs, fresh scraps from a plate. It's like the shit. It's like the stuff that's been sitting there for 5 days. Like, you know, and you come in, dang, I ain't cleaned the house a little bit. You come just dust it onto the floor. Stale old food is what we getting, and you satisfied with that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I mentioned earlier, you got to restructure your mind, your priorities, and what you think is off. Like, when a person, and this is how you know too, because when a person says they want to get themselves right, what do? They run to the Christian church. They think that they first seek spirituality. You don't first seek financial gain. You know what I'm saying? So why do all our so-called black politicians and people that are supposedly for us, why do they run to that? Let me get money for the community, money for the community, money for the community. It's because they want to line their own pockets. They're really aligned with the oppressor. You see what I'm saying? They're not really on your side. You know what I mean? But back to my point, with a lot of people, when they try to first get themselves right, I gotta, you know, a woman getting out of a bad relationship or somebody trying to get themselves right, they say I gotta get myself right with God first. And then they run to the Christian church. They run to our oppressor's religion.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's not the way to go. You gotta first turn back, fix your credit, fix your line, fix your duty, your relationship with the Most High. And that's coming back to follow him in truth and sincerity, following his laws, statutes, commandments, learning the truth according to God. And then we can get up out of this hell. You'll realize it'll be clear as day who hates you and why they hate you. You see what I'm saying? Just like the brother was bringing out. You'll know who that son of perdition is. You'll know who the man of sin is, because you'll read it in the Bible and say, oh, wow, we suffer this, we suffer that. That's what that means. That's what this means. Oh, we got an enemy? Oh, he hates us? Oh, he been hating us since this? And this is the reason why? Oh, I understand now. It all makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I get why I'm not why we can never get ahead for over 500 years, 400 years. You know what I'm saying? For 400 plus years. You see why we can't get ahead? It's because we haven't made things right with the Lord first. And we trying to make things right and get acceptance from our enemies. Like, that don't make no sense. They're happy that you're begging at their feet. You don't understand that? They happy that you're in the ghettos. They're happy. They know that their victory in the battle that they fought hundreds of years ago, and the revolutions and revolts that you had, they know that that they won. They take pride in seeing you in this condition. That's the condition that they fought to have you in. But you're too simple-minded to understand that. You think there's still good oppressors out there. You think there's still good people that are not your own people that are going to help you. It's not going to work out that way, brother. It's not going to work out that way, sister. You need to come back to your own. You need to come back to the Lord and fix this situation. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be better off. You know what I'm saying?
If you have any questions, put them in the chat.
Can I get that precept though? No regard for the old and young. I can't look it up. My phone is what I'm streaming from. Salaki.
Con, it's Deuteronomy 28 and 50.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think it's in Deuteronomy 28.
Let's see. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Right. This is that nation of fierce countenance that we're serving under. That's over us. They don't have no regard for your old and for your young. They don't care. Oh, my baby, they don't care. They was like the brother said, they was feeding your babies to gators. They don't care. Or my we had elderly in their house. My grandma was 50 years old. They gonna pepper spray and throw her some handcuffs too. You know what I'm saying? You 50 something, getting up in age. 60, they don't care. They don't honor you. You are an enemy to them. They are a nation of fierce countenance. You can beg, you can plead, you can, come with your hands out, puppy dog eyes. They're not gonna care. They want to see you like that. You know what I mean? I rest my like I'm done.
So like just going off that video that I played alone just shows exactly how, solid that precept is, because, you see babies about to be unalived. You see elderly about to be unalived. You know what I'm saying? And it's photographed and like it's like a regular portrait picture. Like it's like a regular day. You know what I'm saying? I have a question. How can I get contact with the Dallas, Texas camp? Dallas, Texas. That's
Captain Yashamar.
that is which one?
Captain Yashamar.
Yashamar? Okay, Slocky. You wouldn't happen to have his number, would you? I don't.
Hold on. Who is it? If they inbox ISPK Southern Cal, I can get it to them later.
Okay, Colonel.
Inbox,
inbox Southern California on Facebook, and we'll send you a message with the captain's number. But yeah, okay, so that video shows exactly what's going on, and going into the young, shall have no favor either. Let me play another video. Yes, yeah, we got Instagram as well. That's that's Southern California, Southern California as well.
No, Hollywood Israelites on Instagram.
On Instagram?
Yeah, Hollywood Israelites.
Okay. Yeah, same name on Instagram. All right, so I'm gonna get in the video real quick, showing the regards that these oppressors have for our children as well. Now we showed Obama. That was about what, like 8 years ago. Now let's see what's going on in today's time. What's going on in modern day time.
how deep racism goes in this country. Yet somehow we're still stunned by cases like the one we're bringing you tonight. We begin with a case out of West Virginia. Gene Whitefeather and Donald Lance, a white couple, are accused of treating their 5 adopted children like slaves. We know for sure 3 are black, according to the indictment. Prosecutors say the children were also targeted and adopted because of their race. The pair was arrested last fall. This was after a wellness check turned into a reveal about the living conditions of the children. 2 of the children, 14 and 16 years old, were found living in a barn outside. Neighbors tipped law enforcement off. Deputies discovered there were limited resources in that barn. The teens only had a small porta potty, no running water, or a mattress. According to neighbors, the children were not allowed inside of the home, the main house, and had to do farm labor outside instead. Whitefeather denies the allegations and says the barn was simply a teenage clubhouse. Both Whitefeather and Lance are now behind bars as they wait for a trial to begin September 9th.
So in modern day time, so I can remove this, we're still being enslaved. Our children are still being enslaved. 14 and 16 years old. And that's not judging by the time period that they've been there being enslaved. This is not something that's new to that couple. And if you see that devil's face in court, she just didn't have no remorse, no regard to none of it. Like it. She didn't have no remorse at all. She was smiling in court as if she did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? She felt like this was just the good old American way. What have I done wrong? I'm just doing what we did to get this country.
Right.
I mean, this is good business right here. So you see this, you see the look in the man's face. He's clueless. He doesn't know why he's sitting in court. He's like, my family been doing this for generations now.
Right.
This is what we used to. This is how we've been getting our money. You know what I mean? You go into the history of these people, they have no records of how they get their income. So which shows that they have been enslaving since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? They don't need a job. Their job is doing what they usually do, which is enslaving our people. You know what I'm saying? Her attitude is exactly what every Trumpster feels regarding this. True? I mean, I wouldn't even just put it on Trump. It's just that's just the American spirit. But yeah, true. They feel that same American pride as well. It's the American pride. I mean, but just the cluelessness in the man's face, he's just like, I thought this was fine. This is what I grew up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just how I've been getting my money. Like, I thought this was okay. And adopted, what? I can't say they were 14 and 16 when they were adopted, but they were 14 and 16 when they found them in a shed.
Sleeping on the floor with no running water. All they got is a porta potty.
Nothing. No resources at all. Modern day slavery. And you think that this is just something that just happened in the past? Could you imagine how many more plantations that are out there? You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine how many more, you know what I mean, blacks and Hispanics are being sold, being labored for free? You know what I'm saying? And they have the nerve to sit there and try to put it in the school books that it was volunteer labor. There's nothing voluntary about that. You know what I mean? You took some vulnerable siblings and, you know what I mean, use them as cattle. Something to be worked and be sold. And there ain't no telling what else they was doing with them. You know what I'm saying? There's no telling what else they was doing with them. You have something, I don't?
I mean, this is hell. You know what I'm saying? If this ain't hell, then what is? You know what I'm saying? The fact that our children, they're in a foster care because obviously something, went wrong with the parents. You know what I'm saying? And the foster care system is supposed to be, you're supposed to get checked out, qualified to be able to take in kids. And the fact that it took neighbors like foster care, the people from foster care should do some type of checkups, annual, monthly, every 3 months type of thing. They should be doing something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that this whole system, the whole way that whole situation, is highly irritating. You know what I'm saying? Highly bothersome. You know what I'm saying? Because our people are going through this on a daily. Our people are going through this, and then you still got Negroes and Latinos and natives that want to go and be on their side. You know what I'm saying? That want to go be on the people's side that are doing this to your people. This is not just happening to so-called blacks. This is happening to those thousands of missing Hispanic children that got lost in the foster care system as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This happened to them natives, the missing Native American children the Native American children that's going missing in the foster, then when they get lost in the foster care system on the reservations.
Right.
Or even not even to mention to ones that are getting kidnapped, because our oppressors see an opportunity to capitalize and use these children and use us as, as free labor, as slaves. That's the way they look at you. You'll never be nothing more than that to them. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't understand that this is hell, that they hate you, it is not gonna change. I'm telling you right now. I can guarantee, as a nation of Edomites, as a nation of oppressors, the way they view you is not going to change. You can get better. They're gonna hate you more. You can try to integrate into their society. They're gonna hate you more. They already tried that on Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? They hate you more. The best thing you can do is separate from this place spiritually. Turn to your Lord. Turn to the Most High. Serve Him, and gather together with your people. You know what I'm saying? That's the best thing that you can do. And disregard their opinions and disregard what they want from you, what they desire from you. You know what I'm saying? But that situation is definitely sad though. And I hope they throw their behinds underneath the jail. I hope judgment gets executed, not from the judge, but from the Lord, on these people. You know what I'm saying?
Man. 16 and 14. It's crazy. I'm gonna read Deuteronomy 28 and 43. Okay, come. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. So this is not new to us, because us being disobedient is not new to God. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to continue to have to keep suffering. We're going to have to continue to keep on being under the foot of our oppressors. We're going to have to continue to have a stranger rule over us, and we'll continue to be in poverty and, put in these type of situations where our children could be put into modern day slavery, because us as a nation, as a people, continue to keep on disobeying the Lord. You know what I mean? To a point where we are comfortable and under the boots of our oppressors. This is the way we're living right now. You know what I mean? This is a curse that was given to us because we just don't know how to listen, being knuckleheads. You know what I mean? The Lord's saying what he wants us to do and what he doesn't want us to do, and we just don't know how to follow. We too busy listening to somebody's pastor, somebody's bishop. We too busy listening to somebody else's teaching us what God should be instead of going to the blueprint, which is the scriptures. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. You know what I mean? The Lord is saying the things that he wants you to do and what he doesn't want you to do. But we're finding so many different avenues to disobey him. And that's why we have these situations that's going on against us. And this is how cruel it can be by being disobedient. Look at the visual of what's going on. So like, let me play that second part of that video. And these are going to be the people explaining the situation. And you see the heathens really don't, I mean, they feel away, but they don't really feel away. And you're going to see this Asian lady, she's going to be blaming it on the system more so than blaming it on the person who did it. You know what I mean? The people that did it. They're going to be talking about racism. She's going to be trying to talk about the orphan system as if that's what's responsible. No, it's these people. They're the ones who are the ones enslaving these children. You know what I mean? Not the system. But let me get into it. Fuck it.
And talking about the foster care system and adoption regulations and things like that, chances are there wasn't an adoption agency or any foster care system involved in this case because they raised the bond with allegations of like human trafficking. So we don't even know how these kids ended up in their care in the first place.
We do know they were adopted or they received their custody in Washington state and then moved to West Virginia. Were people wise? Were people getting concerned about what they saw in Washington and that's why they moved to West Virginia? That's a question we still have to explore.
Two things come to mind. The child welfare system, which is an institution that really needs some serious reform. There was talk about defunding the CPS and foster care system. It's not there to protect the children in cases like this. That's a whole other issue. The institutions that are meant to support children can sometimes hurt them. And the other thing I think about is the trauma that's instilled on these kids for a lifetime. We talk about something called adverse childhood experiences, neglect, abuse, poverty, unhealthy sanitary conditions, poor parenting. Those are things that can affect those children for a lifetime, that can create PTSD, anxiety, depression, poor relationships, poor jobs, crime. Those are very serious outcomes for those children.
And Todd, we've heard that the 16-year-old boy in this case reeked and had sores on his feet. It was so bad the neighbors could smell it.
It just, if you look at the images, it looked like an old school plantation. The shed, the barn looked like a slave shack. It's just, like David said, it's just evil. And to think in 2024, you still have people who see Black people and children at that as property, just to use for their own purposes and stuff like that. The only way to describe it is evil. This is for the first time in my being on this show, I'm just flabbergasted. I have really nothing to say about how this is, but this is why we should take racism seriously. This is why when people talk about certain things, we should listen to them, because it's so easy to fall back into the trap of yesteryear when things happen that were this atrocious. You know what I mean? People would do evil things to innocent people. So we have to really be careful about the race relations in this country and stuff like that. And so we won't fall back into that trap again.
And of course, we heard from the judge and prosecutors that these kids were targeted because of their race. This is why those parents went after them.
So that's why we need to take a serious look at the child welfare system. We don't know what happened to these kids, but did you know that only 15% of all cases in which children are taken away from their parents involve physical violence? A lot of them involve neglect. We're talking about maybe there's not enough food at the table. Maybe they weren't clothed properly. Maybe mom or dad had an addiction problem, things that stem from trauma. If we can address keeping families together and address things like poverty and prosperity and economic prosperity, maybe we can keep families together so we don't see these situations. Something has to seriously be done about that institution.
And we're hearing that they also sold a $700,000 ranch and a $200,000 house, I think,
The house
as
that they
well.
were- that they were in.
And many and prosecutors are questioning how they were able to get that money, whether those kids played a role in forced labor to pay for those things.
I mean, we don't know, but it would seem so. Like they had no source of income that the judge knew about. So how are you making this type of money? They're enslaving people.
Yeah.
You know, they're trafficking kids. You know, they think it's 1824, not 2024. And like Charles said, we have to start at the root and fix some of the problems that people are having that lead to this situation, because there's no child that should be, these kids are going to be traumatized for life. And the excuses that they use, oh, it was a clubhouse. When I was a teenager, I didn't want nothing to do with a clubhouse. I wanted to hang out with my friends and do normal things. That's elementary stuff. And the fact that the cops had to pry the door open. If that's a clubhouse, why can't they come and go?
Right.
I have friends that have clubhouses for their children. They can come and go as they please. So all of that is nonsense. They are enslaving people. And I've mentioned this before on this show. People think slavery ended in 1865 through convict leasing and other things. Black people have always had to deal with the possibility of being enslaved again. And now in 2024, we have kids having to go through things that my ancestors went through, and it's horrifying.
Last 30 seconds.
14% of this country is a Black population, yet 25% of all kids in the child welfare system are Black. There's a serious racism problem in the foster care and the child welfare system.
All right.
So back to it, you know what I'm saying? It's disturbing that this is still happening today. They said the little boy was shoeless, had sores on his feet. You ever seen the movie Glory with Denzel Washington? You know what I'm saying? They said he stunk so bad that the neighbors could smell it. And that place looked like it was, you know what I mean, like a down south type of place. Like it was pretty, you know what I mean, like it was a lot of land that was right there. To be able to still smell him, like they were abusing those children. You know what I'm saying? Those children were dealing with modern day slavery. They said they had to pry the door open just to get to them. You know what I mean? This is a sick world we live in. You know what I mean? Under the foot of our oppressors. It's sick. It's time for change. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is only requiring obedience. That's it. He's not really requiring anything else but us to get in motion as far as working in this truth and being obedient to the law. That's it. These are the basic requirements. And once we start to see ourselves and respect ourselves in the way that the Lord loves us, it wouldn't be that hard for us to love each other the same type of way. You know what I mean? You're not going to be so quick to harm somebody that the Lord loves. You're not going to be so quick to unalive someone that the Lord loves as a child. You know what I mean? And then knowing what the consequences that come by breaking the law and doing harm to ourselves. You wouldn't be so quick to do it. And yet we still have these religious facilities making God so, you know what I mean, effeminate and docile. He's just not tough, not like, it's like he's not a father figure. He's more so like a sugar daddy, just waiting for you to act right so he can give you stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not making God into what he truly is, which is a father to his children. You know what I mean? And as a father, it comes stern attitude and discipline. It doesn't come, oh yeah, well, hey, how's it going? What are you doing today? I'm about to go give you this, I'm gonna give you that, and I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you that. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? God is going to give you structure. He's going to put you in line. He's going to put you, he's going to correct you, just like a father should. But we dealing with this effeminate God that this nation has brought. That's not the God we serve. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like we were saying, there is no love that America has for us. It's never loved us. It's continuously revealing itself as the man of perdition. You know what I mean? The people who rule this place are proving themselves as the man of sin, the man of perdition. You know what I'm saying? So it's about time that we wake up and realize that, instead of staying asleep and expecting acceptance from people who never gave a damn about us. You know what I'm saying? And stop giving excuses that, oh, it happened back then. Oh, it's different now. You see, it's not different now. You see that nothing's changed. So why are we consistently trying to find acceptance from a nation that doesn't love us? Why? It's just because you're first of all, you're lost in your sin. You're stuck in your sin and you accept everything that is sinful in you. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let me read Amos 6:1 real quick. Let me see. The book of Amos 6, chapter 6:1 says, "Woe to them that are at ease in Zion and trust in the mountain of Samaria." You know what I mean? You can't find some type of comfort here. You can't be comfortable here. This is literally hell on earth. You can't find a sense of ease here. You can't think that only because you're working and you're being paid a certain amount and you got a basic car with a basic home, and you know what I mean, now that you're able to get by, now you're comfortable. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? You got to think about the bigger picture. As you sit in your comfort and your ease and you're getting by, you got to understand majority of our people are not. A majority of our people are still dealing with situations of being enslaved, as we see. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta find a way to be able to change that. We got to stop thinking about ourselves so much. Your pastor has told you, you so much. You're gonna get this. The Lord wants to bless you with this. The Lord is not he does not favor just a person. You know what I mean? He's not a respecter of person. You know what I mean? The Lord deals with nations. He deals with us as a nation. And if you see us as a nation, majority of us are under the foot, still under the, and just suffering in poverty. And that's the way the system is supposed to run. That's the way they set it up. You see them sending so much money to different countries to help them and their war. And yet we've been living here for how long and they haven't gave us anything? Not even a pat on the back? Not even acknowledgement? We sat there and lost people marching and, you know what I mean, being abused and hit with fire hoses just so we can be looked at as people. Why do you care so much about what they think about you? You willing to risk your life just to be acknowledged as a person to someone who is less than? Our people got to get it together. The programming has to stop. You know what I mean? We have to stop trying to want to be whores because they want us to be whores. We have to stop trying to want to be delinquents because they want us to be delinquents. We have to stop trying to be thugs because they want us to be thugs. Being suicidal, being drug addicts because they want it from us. We got to stop that. We got to want what's best for us and our people. You got to be able to look down at your children and be like, I'm going to want better for them. But you raising your kids in the same system that you grew up in. So what do you have to do? You got to break that system. You know what I mean? Don't be at ease here. And don't forget what's happened to you in this nation. Don't forget what's happened to you in this country. Stop using that saying, oh yeah, well, it happened in the past. You know who made that up? Our oppressors. And you went right along with it. Forget about what happened in the past. Even though they have not forget, they're about to celebrate the 4th of July. They don't forget about their past. Why should you forget about yours? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna read Amos 8 and 7. The book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 7. Shall not the land tremble for this, and every one mourn that dwelleth therein? And it shall rise up, wally as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned as by the flood of Egypt. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day, and I will turn your feast into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head. And I will make it as the morning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. This is the Lord talking about the vengeance he's going to give, just because we can't avenge ourselves. We've given them too much. We've given them too much leeway. So there has to be a day of the Lord. Our Father has to step in now. You know what I mean? And that's what we want. Because we've made our oppressor so powerful, even if we wanted to rise against them right now, we couldn't. But this is not a carnal war right now for us. This is a spiritual war for us. You're fighting against your principalities. You're fighting against, oh yeah, people telling you that things are right and things are okay to do when they're not. That's what you're fighting against. You're fighting to not be popular. You don't want to be popular here. This place has to have a destruction day. Who wants to be popular in a place that has to be destroyed? You know what I mean? Because if you're the popular one, you're going to be destroyed right along with it. That's pretty much that's the end all be all. So like it. Let me see real quick. Let's see. But the Lord's been plotting this vengeance for a minute now, since the old prophets. You know what I mean? Our vengeance it's been spoken about, because we can't avenge ourselves. We can't even listen. But you know what? It's going to come a day where it's going to be so terrible that we'll have no choice but to listen. We'll have no choice but to seek the true God of the Bible. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to run somewhere when things get bad. You know what I mean? It's like that kid that keeps sneaking out the house. Want to keep sneaking out the house, and as soon as something goes wrong, you want to call your parents, the same ones that told you to stay your ass inside. You know what I mean? You just want to run when things go wrong, but you're gonna have your opportunity to run back. You know what I'm saying? And Lord be with you on that day. As far as me and my house, we are going to serve the Lord until his return. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna serve the Lord until his day of judgment, because it's nothing left for us here. It's absolutely nothing left. All we got is modern day slavery, modern day abuse, modern day oppression. This is all we're dealing with. Nothing's changed for us, and America's not going to change it for us. They're going to continue to keep just taking the energy out of us, taking our resources. We're the first ones to have to deal with the destruction when they start to feel just a little cold shoulder, just when they feel anything. We're the first ones that they come to take our resources, and we hand them away just like that, with no arguments, with no fight, no nothing. Just humbly get on our knees and just give them everything that we have. That time has to change now. You have to want to fight for yourself. You have to want to fight for your people. You know what I'm saying? But let me see. We got any more videos? I think that was the last one. I do got a video. I don't know if I should show. Nah, I ain't gonna show that video. It's meant to be funny, but it's a little boy just being racist as hell. I should show the video. Nah, it's too wild. But all in all, I mean, our oppressors have not changed. They are the same. Have they been? You know what I mean? And it's time for us to change. It's time for us to change and stop being so submissive to what our abusers want from us. You can't keep celebrating your abusers' religions, their holidays. You can't be so submissive to that. You know what I mean? They have destroyed us, and they're going to continue to keep on destroying us as long as we allow them to. But there's only one thing that we can do to change that. You know what I mean? And that's to serve the Lord and be obedient. With that, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakathum to the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Athum Ba'Shem Yahushua to the sisters. I mean, the water for y'all in the chat, the water for y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? We'll see y'all next week.